There you go. Don't take the card back. There's a million kids coming. Not with you. Without you, I don't know. I'll call it after the take. That's a rough thing. I'm right here. Big deal. You gonna hold it for the next hour? It better not be an hour. Yeah, I say that every night. It better not be an hour. This is the cancerous Daf. I'm still eating. What do you mean? Yes. This is 80. Well, I don't care. I don't mind doing it. Rock it up. Had a clean cup. Landau, pass me the scotch. Base, up the base. No, I don't think so. That's not
the Eruvin, the third blood in Eruvin.
Ervin's not the most acceptable. Who's unmuted?
I don't know. Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Just like you want. Yeah, cool.
I want to see in action how we do something.
There you go.
Nice.
See, I used.
You saw just a button.
I used the middle finger.
I don't know if I could say it without feeling paint behind me. Okay, so yesterday we said from abaya. Yesterday we said from abaya in the name of Rava.
Guys, you don't want me to mute you in real life.
Give them what to eat. Yesterday we said that abaya.
Triaco, can you call in? Because we can't hear anything.
Oh.
Maybe they got a little quiet.
Give it a minute. Let me know if you can. If not, I'll give him my earbud and then I'll.
No, it's Paris. If you mute and Triaco just calls in.
I can't mute.
I'm calling in.
Yeah, but if he calls in, you don't get the video.
No, I'm saying you can hold the video, but then let him call in, or give him an earbud.
Oh. Put this one in and try it. See if it works.
Geez, Icky, you want everything.
What change is this called?
Followed by pound. You have not entered any numbers. Please re-enter. You are in the meeting now. There are
Hello?
in the meeting. You are
Hear anything in there? Yeah. Huh? I'm driving with you, son. Okay. Hearing a lot of that.
Parrots, you gotta mute you now, Parrots.
You mute you. That's it.
Better now, guys?
No, I still hear. I hear a double.
I'm muted.
Why isn't that working?
My sound is too close to it.
So you mute yourself. Yeah, I'll feel like.
Muted.
Okay, now it got quiet, so maybe it'll work. Hold on. Can you hear me now? Oop. Shutting it down. Can you hear now?
Yes, I heard. Yes.
Yes, much better.
Good. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, now hold on a second. Who would ever thought to say a sheer live is complicated? I'm mamash Olam Huffer.
You're gonna hit mute. No, you should hit mute on your iPad. You know how to hit mute?
Okay, so let's go. We got everybody quiet. Let's roll. Amar abaya. So I'm sorry. We said yesterday that abaya said b'shem Rav Nachman that there's two different types of Amos. There's an Amma of 6, there's an Amma of 5. That was abaya b'shem Rav Nachman. Now, today, we're saying Rava mishmei de Rav Nachman. So Rava says in the name of Rav Nachman. So basically what comes out, this is not your classic Machlokes, abaya, and Rava. It's a Machlokes, abaya, and Rava as to what Rav Nachman said. Right? So, Rava mishmei de Rav Nachman, Amar kol Amos v'Ama b'ashisha. Every Amma that we're talking about, anytime there's a measurement of Amma, it goes with 6 Ammas. 6 Tvachim, I'm sorry. El alolu shaychos v'alolu atzvos. Some Ammas are, how do you call it? Tight. How do they tie? We got it right here. Some are tight, and some are loose and tight. So basically, loose would be like if you hold your finger like this, and tight would be you hold it very tight. So very close together. So Meisvei, again, so Rava says that all Ammas are 6, which by the way we pass them like Rava, that an Amma has 6 Tvachim in it. Right? But he says that the difference between Ammas is whether it's the fingers are tight together, fingers are loose. So Meisvei, Kol Amma Shamru Chachamim Ba'Amma Ba'Shisha. All the Ammas that the Chachamim say is talking about 6 Tvachim. That's fine. That makes sense. Ubevad Shalayu Mechavanas. But as long as they're not, they shouldn't be the same exact thing. Now, what does it mean, the same exact thing? Yeah, meaning that some should be loose and some should be tight. So Bishlam of the Rava, so according to Rava, it makes sense. Right, so just like you're going to have some that are going to be tight and some are going to be, loose and some are going to be tight. El abaya kasha, but according to abaya, we have a kasha. It says all the Amos are shisha tvachim, and we know that abaya holds that not all Amos are shisha tvachim. Klayim is shisha, but sukkah and mavui is 5. Samalach abaya, ema amas klayim ba'ama bashisha. Really, what he means to say is the Amma of Klayim is made out of 6. It's not. He doesn't mean all are 6. It means the one of Klayim is 6, but everything else would be less than 6. But the Gemara asks, "Van the Mekatani say for Rav Shimon Gamliel Omer Kol Amma Shamu Chachamim the Klayim Ba'ama Bashisha." And so Rav Shimon Gamliel disagrees with the Chachamim, and he says that all the Ammas that the Chachamim say is Amma is 6, is Amma Bashisha 6 Tvachim. Well, actually, you mitzumtzumais. As long as they shouldn't be exactly, mitzumtzum means exactly to that amount. Michlal the Tanakama Kol Amos Komar. Meaning, if Rabbi Shimon Gamliel is saying that all Amos he's disagreeing, and he says all Amos, the climb is Amma Bashisha, as long as it shouldn't be mitzumtzum, that means the Tanakama is referring to all Amos. Otherwise, what's Rabbi Shimon Gamliel disagreeing with the Tanakama about? But what do you mean? There's Rav Shimon Gamliel who holds like me, so why can't I hold like Rav Shimon Gamliel? I'm not Darik Rav Shimon Gamliel. I'm going to hold like Rav Shimon Gamliel. Fine. So then the Gemara says, Labaya vadai tanoihi. So according to Abaya, it's for sure Machlokes tanoim. Meaning there's only one way for Abaya, who says that some Amos for Sukkah and Mavui are 5 Tvachim and Klayim is 6 Tvachim. The only way for him to understand that tanoim is to say it's a Machlokes. But the Rava, maybe Rava does not have to say it's a Machlokes tanoim. Because Amalach Rava, Rav Shimon Gamliel, Amas Klayim lo yitzamtzim. What maybe Rav Shimon Gamliel is just coming to add that the Amma of Klayim you should not be mitzamtzim. Meaning, what? Yes, he's coming to say the Tanakama said all Amas, and then Rav Shimon Gamliel is coming to explain, and he's going to say except the Amas Klayim, you got to make sure it's exact, right? So the Gemara says.
That was a pop-up A. The letter A just popped up with that question.
Okay. Yeah.
Nobody gets it. Whenever I keep it talks, it's A.
Yeah, very good. The lema Amas Klayim lo yitzamtzim. Right? Why doesn't he just say the Amma of Klayim? You shouldn't be mitzamtzim. Va'ama bashisha lemutei. Why is Rav Shimon Gamliel saying Ba'ama bashisha? Meaning, why does if Rav Shimon Gamliel is just coming to clarify? Why does he need that whole long sentence for? Why doesn't he just say Amas Klayim lo yitzamtzim? Right? So why does he say Ba'ama bashisha lemutei? Lav lemutei Amas sukkah v'Amas mavui isn't coming to exclude the Amas sukkah and Amas mavui, which means that they would have a different. They wouldn't be 6; they'd have 5. So our answer is Lo lemutei Amas yisoid v'Amas soiviv. It's coming to exclude the Amma of the yisoid and the amma of the soiviv. Now, the Beis Hamikdash, I think most of the guys have art scrolls, so you have a, well, I'm on the wrong. Yeah, so the Mizbeach HaChitzon, like the outer altar, as it says, the bottom was the widest, then it went up 1 amma, then it went in an amma, then up 5 ammas, then in an amma, and then up 3, and then you had the corners. So the basically what we're saying is that's what we're coming to exclude, meaning all ammas are really 6, but the Mizbeach HaChitzon, some of the ammas are 6, and some of the ammas are 5. Why is it some 6 and why 5? I tried to figure that out myself today. I couldn't figure it out. I mean, it's what? We're abandoning Klein. Yes, we're abandoning Klein. Well, we're not abandoning it. We're just saying it's 6. Yeah, because he's posting that everything is 6, including Klein. So Klein is 6, and mavui is 6, and sukkah is 6. Everything is 6, except now for the mizbeach. Yeah, very good. Thank you. Why is it called an amma? What do you mean? Well, each one is an amma. Just some ammas are 5 and some ammas are 6. What are you saying? I don't get what you're saying. You mean we should give him a different name? That's what you're saying. Why would we do that? Then it wouldn't be confusing. No, that's whatever. That's an inside joke between whatever. It's not an inside joke. That's for some reason. Right. It's even confusing the way the Gemara says it here. Let's see how it learns it out. It's meduyik in the psukim that's the way it has to be. But I didn't get clear why it's mashma that each one it is. But in the psukim, it's meduyik like that. Yes, because it says in the pasuk, ve'elam midas hamizbeach, ve'amos amma. This is the hardest part of the Gemara, and then after 2 lines after this, then it gets very easy. Yeah, ve'elam midas hamizbeach. No, there is one important part.
This is the most important daf in the whole
The truth is, no. If there would be women here, it would be very important. There's no women here, right? Then it's not so important. No. For women, it's very important daf, actually. To be honest with you. So if you pay attention, maybe you could be mechazik your wife. But what's that? You're the single guy here? How many singles do we have? Okay. Don't worry about it. No. Right? It says these are the midas of the mizbeach why it's amas. Amma v'toifach. It says amma and a tefach. The chek, which is the base of the mizbeach, amma, the amma rochav, and it's amma wide. Ukvula el svasa saviv zeres. Right, and around it is zeres ha'echad v'zeh gava mizbeach, and that's the back of the mizbeach. So basically, you see a lot of different measurements here. You have the chek. Well, let's see the Gemara. The Gemara is going to say chek ha'ama zu yisoid. The chek is the base, which is the widest. V'ama rochav zeh soiviv, and then the soiviv is a part of the mizbeach that's stuck out in amma, because since you keep indenting the mizbeach, so it's called the soiviv that goes all around the mizbeach. And then the boundary to the lip, to the next lip, around it is the kronos. The kronos is the top. Each one had a corner, right? There was a corner in each one that went up in amma. And then you have the gamazbech, which was mizbeach hazav, which was an amma by an amma. For those that have the art school, you look at it. But anyways, I'm not so clear how we learn out from these psukim that it's some of the ammas are 5, some of the ammas are 6. But the art scroll, you see, the art scroll has it in the whoever doesn't have art scroll. The base is a 5 tefach amma, then it moves in with a 6 tefach amma, then it goes up with a 6, then it goes in with a 5, then up with a 6, and then the keren is each one 5. Okay, so again, Maskonas HaGemara, we have a Machlokes abaya and Rava, how to paskin. Do we paskin that the ammas are 5 or 6? And how does it go? So abaya is saying, according to abaya, there's no Machlokes tanoim at all. And what Rav Shimon Gamliel is coming to exclude, he says that everything is 6. According to all the tanoim, it's 6. and except for the mizbeach, which has some Amos that are 5. And Rava holds no, it's a Machlokes Tanoim whether Amos are 5 or Amos are 6. Okay, fine. So Amar Rav Chiya Barashi Amar Rav. Shiurin Chatzitza. This is a much easier Gemara now. Shiurin Chatzitza and Mechitza and Halacha lemoshe. Shiurin meaning measurements, meaning we know that we have measurements. Every time you make kiddush, there's a measurement. Every time you wash for hamaitzi, there's a measurement there. Chatzitzin is chatzitza for mikvah, mechitzin, and for mechitzas, you have halach. They're all halach lemoshe misinai. So the Gemara says shiurin deraisa. What do you mean? Measurements is not halach lemoshe misinai. Shiurin, it says beferish in the Torah. The siv eretz chito sa'ira. It says eretz chito sa'ira, and we'll see the end of the pasuk later. V'amar Rav Nachman kol pasuk hazel shiurin nema. All this pasuk is coming to tell you measurements. Chita, what's Chita telling you? Look, Tatanana Nicholas based on Manuga, somebody who goes into a house that has tzaras, the Kalev Aksefa, and he has his clothing on his shoulder, meaning he's not wearing his clothing. The sandalov, the tabaisa, biyadav, and his shoes and his rings are in his hand. Hu vehem timein miyad. So anything that he's holding becomes tamei right away. But if he's wearing his clothing and his sandal on his feet and the tabaisa betzvaisav and his fingers are on his rings are on his fingers, hu tamei miyad, then he himself becomes tamei right the second he steps into the house of tzaras. He and his clothing that he's wearing is tahar until he waits the amount of time that it would take to eat some bread. Right, to eat a measurement of bread, that's how long he would have to be in there. Yes. So so now what type of bread? Paschitin v'loy pasayrin. It's wheat bread and not barley bread. Why? Because wheat bread is easier to chew than the barley bread. So therefore, it's a faster measurement. Mesa v'oichel b'lifton, and it's not only just eating straight bread. It's eating bread like with hummus or whatever it is. It's eating bread together with that. So that's what we learn out from the word chita. We're learning out how long a person has to be inside a house of tzaras in order to become tamei. That's what we learn out from chita. So clearly that's a daraisa. So what about barley? If you have a bone that's the size of a barley, it becomes tamei with the touch, right? And with carrying it, but it's not going to become tamei oil. So that's how we know. That's why we have to know the measurement of a barley. Geffen, what about grapes? Could they revius yayin lenazir? That's a revius yayin for the nazir. Okay. Te'ena, what about a fig? Te'ena, you want to look at something? Te'ena, the groigris lightzah Shabbos. The te'ena is for a dried fig, which if the Ilam remembers from Gemara Shabbos, a dried fig is the amount you're chayav on. If you carry out a dried fig or the equivalent, then you're going to be chayav on Shabbos. Rimoin, what about a rimoin? Also in Gemara and Shabbos. A kli balabas, if it's tamei and you want to make it tar, so you have to bust it open. How big does the hole have to be? The size of a rimoin, right? So that's what we learn out from the first part of pasuk. And the next part of pasuk is eretz zeis shemen udvash. It's a land of olives and what do you call it? Olives, olive oil, and honey. Eretz shekol shiurim kezesim. So the Gemara first says it's an eretz, it's a land that all the measurements are zaysim. Kol shiurim doesn't mean all the measurements. We just said there's all these different measurements. All the measurements are not kezayis. It's a land that most shiurim are kezaysim, which we know that the most shiurim that we have to deal with is a shir kezayis, right? To eat bread in order to bench is a kezayis. Kidei achilas prat, right? Matzah is a kezayis. Drink is a revius, which is equivalent of a kezayis. But that's most measurements of kezayis. But there are a few measurements that are not kezayis, which we have said. Dvash. Now dvash is honey from date tree, right? Kikaseves hagasa liyam kippurim. That's like a thick date. What is? Silag? Silag?
The chef said.
What?
Date syrup.
Date syrup? Oh, there you go. Okay, so very. Okay, very good. Very good. So dvash. So that's kekoseves hagasa liyom kippurim. The amount of eating on Yom Kippur that you have to be chayiv is a fat day. I mean, where they pick this up? How they?
This applies to Yom Kippur. This applies to some of them are mismar. Like we might be set to
Well, the Gemara is going to say it's a smach abaya. Right. Yeah. So let's see. Tvash. The Tizbara. Right. Shiurim michtav ksivi. So we say, what do you mean? So you see that there's a pasuk for all measurements. How could you say that shiurim is halacha lemoshe misinai? There's a pasuk for all of them. Elo halchasaninu basmechinu rabbanon akroi. It's a halacha, and the rabbanon was samechin on a pasuk. Right. So meaning, really, it is the rabbanon, which we said it's halacha lemoshe misinai, but it's basing it on a pasuk. Fine. This is the part that's negay. Chatzitza and daraisa ninu. Chatzitza is daraisa. We say chatzitza. Meaning, what's a chatzitza? When you go into the mikveh, for a serious mikveh, not for men, for women, for nida or a ger, even Yom Kippur. I mean, Yom Kippur is a little bit, but not really. Right? So we said it's halacha lemoshe misinai. What do you mean? Chatzitza is a pasuk in the Torah. The siva rochet is kol b'sara b'mayim. You have to wash your whole flesh in the water. Shalei davar chaytet bein b'sara l'mayim. Right? You could have nothing in between your skin and the water. B'mayim b'mei mikvah. It says b'mayim in the main mikvah. Kol b'sara b'mayim means your whole basar has to go into water. Shekol gufay oila b'hen. Your whole body has to go into the water. The kamehain, how much is that? Amma al amma barum gimal amas. It's an amma by an amma, the height of 3 amas. Right? V'shiyur chachamim mei mikvah mem sa'at. And the chacham said that's 40 sa'at. Right? That's what we get. No, so you see, basically, the Gemara is saying a few things. Number one, the entire body has to go into the water. Which, by the way, where's a Hasidic minhag came that they shave their heads, the women, they shave their hair, comes from that their whole body has to be in the mikvah. And if even one hair is sticking out, then it's no good. Not chatzitza. No, it didn't. There's 2 things we're learning. One is chatzitza, that there can be nothing in between the skin and the water, and the entire body has to go under the water. Right? So if even one hair is out of the water, then the tefillah is no good. That's why the minhag is that there's a lady there to watch to make sure that every hair goes under. Chassidim one up that and they shave their hair. The main reason is for this, not because they want to look. It is, but that has to go under the water. No, but they're afraid that the hair floats. Hair floats. So they're afraid that the hair. Yeah. What? No, they shave even when they go post-menopause. They shave. Once it became a minhag, and they shave even post-menopause. They showed. Became like a zach. Yeah. That also comes from that they don't want the house to see the hair, like kimtis. So that's all a play. But the ikar reason is for this. What do you mean? What, they take off all the hair, you saying? Yeah, but that's our chatzitza. That's our chatzitza. Right, yeah, right. Yeah, very good. Go ahead, doctor. Yes. I right. Yeah, yeah. No, the man is supposed to find the woman. I'm gonna sit this one out, okay, well, no, I'm saying. Anyways, but that's where it comes from. Ultimately, listen, I can't say pshat in it. There's many Gemaras that seem that's not like that, but whatever it is. But that's where those are the 2 halachas. One, that there could be nothing in between the woman's skin and the water, or the man's if it's a ger, right? And that the entire body has to go under the water. Yeah, fine. So obviously you see it's a pasuk. It's daraisa b'chatzitza. So our answer, no, the pasuk is coming to tell you. I'm sorry, the halacha lemoshe misinai is coming to tell you that hair is also an issue, not just the body, but even on the hair, chatzitza can be an issue with the hair too. Because the Rava bar Rav Huna, Dama Rava Rav Huna, nima achas kashura chatzetzes. If you have one hair that has a knot in it, then that's a chatzitza. Shalosh einan chatzitzin. 3 hairs is not a chatzitza. Shtayim any yadeya. So 2, I don't know. So this is also important for those that do have hair and go to the mikveh, right? So a lot of women think that the knotting of the hair is a problem if there's 3 hairs knotted together. That's beferish, that 3 hairs knotted together, they don't get so tight, right? When you take a thick rope, if you take a thick rope and make a knot, it's going to be loose, right? It's not going to be so tight. We had this in Shabbos also, right? 1 hair, if it gets a knot in it, there's no way water is penetrating that knot. So 1 hair, so when they're combing their hair for the mikveh, they're really looking.
Submerged all the way?
Well,
Yeah, of course.
it's so tight that it's not going to, at least that's a chashash. What are you saying? No, because at the end of the day, men's mikveh is not a serious stuff. Men's mikveh is not nothing. Even Hasidim, even so. That's true, right? But their mikveh, right? But their mikveh is not. Yeah. Yeah.
Face the mask.
But anyway, so 3 hairs that are knotted together is for sure not going to make a chatzitza, right? So really, all you're looking for is a knot that's 1 knot in hair. Okay. Anyways, so that's what we're saying, that it has to do with hair. That's the chiddush. So I lost the place now. Sare name daraisa. Hair is also daraisa. The Tanya barachat is kol basarei. You have to wash all your basar as a tafel of basarei. Everything that's even tafel. What's how you touch tafel? Not secondary. Thank you. Secondary to the basar. Bizel seir, right? Hair is secondary to your skin. So you see, it's a beferish pasuk that you can't have a chatzitza on the hair either. So now this is the most important part here, okay? That's a practical halacha. The halacha is coming to tell you roiv of the body, umiyutay, and for part of the body, ulemakfid, uleshein makfid, and for when you're makfid and you're not makfid. Now the Gemara is going to explain that. Look at the Rabbi Yitzchak. Damar Rabbi Yitzchak. Dvar Torah, ruboy of makfid alav chaytzitz. If it's okay, just to explain this, and it's really important for women to understand this because they get very stressed out about going to the mikveh, that they're going to be chayav kares if there's something on them. The bottom line is, in order for something to be a chatzitza from the Torah, it has to be on most of the body, and you have to not want it there, which I think is impossible. It's impossible to have a chatzitza deraisa. I'm not going to say impossible. Roy body cast.
If a lady has a cast on
May ikar adin min ha-Torah, yes. Min ha-Torah, yes. Because midrabanan. I want to make it clear, right? That's true, but they made gezeirus. You have a different question.
You can guarantee me. You want to guarantee me that
One second. We'll get to it. We'll get to it. We'll try and get to it. Hit him. Anyways, no, let's get it straight. In order for something to be a chatzitza daraisa, we'll explain it outside and then we'll do it inside. In order for something to be a chatzitza daraisa, it has to be on most of the body, and she has to not want it there. Lemoshe. And a chanami. One second. We'll get to it. You're gonna have if you listen to this, you're gonna have even a stronger kasha. Okay, again. For a daraisa, the only way I could see a woman not being able to go to a mikveh daraisa is if she falls into a bucket of tar, let's say, and it's on half her body and she doesn't want it there. Otherwise, I don't know what other example you would have where it's on most of her body and she doesn't want it. Oh, so spray tan is a big shiloh. So spray tan, right? So, they want it. So therefore that's out. That's not a daraisa. They want it there. And a chanami.
why is a manicure a problem?
Right, it's not a problem. We're gonna get to it. Correct. One second. We'll get to it. That's right. By the way, a spray tan is not an issue anyways because it goes into the skin and it's absorbed. So that's not an issue. That's an excellent question. Hey, the single guy comes up with the good kasha. Very good. Correct. Now there's a machlokes whether you look at the hair as a separate entity, but that Akiva nailed it. right? But do you look at hair like a separate entity? Okay, but that's that. Let's hold off again. For it to be the rice, it has to be most.
We keep putting Takima. We got Mechitza sitting right.
It has to be. It has to be most. But he wasn't mechavan to the. He wasn't mechavan to the good kashi.
Yeah.
Right. Then midrabanon, they made a gezerah that if it's on roiv of the body, even if you're not makbid, or even if it's on part of the body and she's makbid. Follow? Midrabanon, they made a gezerah. If it's on most of the body, even if she doesn't want it there, it's a problem. And they made a gezerah that even if it's on part of the body and she wants it there, then it's a problem. I'm sorry, she doesn't want it there. She doesn't want it. If she wants it there, then it's not a problem. Okay, let's read that inside. I'll say, if it's roy for body and she's makbid, it's a chatzitza. If she's not makbid, like the spray tan, ain't a chaytzitz, it's not chaytzitz. Because they made a gezerah al ruboy she'enei makbid. If it's roiv for a body but she doesn't care about it, mishum ruboy hamakbid, because roiv that's makbid, val miyutoy hamakbid, and on a part of the body, if it's on part of the body, mishum ruboy hamakbid, because of roiv of the body, right? A tattoo is not going to be a problem because you want it now. So that's very good. So it's a common issue. It's a common issue. Right. So tattoo goes under the skin. So the bottom line is it's okay. There's something called chazuz alav milsa. Anything that's just a look is not a problem. So even the eyelash. What? Oh, yeah, eyelash. Don't tell me about the eyelash. But no, I'm saying, but another common question is that a woman gets ink on her hand, right? So, and then she can't get it off. So that's not an issue because anything that's just ink, it's not substantial, is no problem, right? Henna would be the same thing. Crazy glue would be an issue because it's thick. Crazy glue would be an issue because it's thick, right? Let's finish the Gemara. This is the main point here. The ligzar nami al miyutoy she'enei makbid mishum mir hamakbid. Why don't we make a gezerah that if it's on a part of her body that she doesn't care because of mir hamakbid, because maybe it's on part of her body that she does care. Inami mishum ruboy she'enei makbid, or because of roiv she'enei makbid. So Gemara answers, he gufa gezerah, v'anan nekum v'nigzar gezerah. The whole thing is a gezerah. We should go make another gezerah on another gezerah, so we can't do that. No, that's the Gemara's thing. It's two different gezerahs. No, but I think that's what it's asking, and then we're saying that's too much. Meaning again, the halacha is midoraisa. It has to be roiv of the body, and she has to not want it there. Midorabanan, they made a gezerah, even if it's on a fraction of the body, but she doesn't want it there, they made a gezerah. Or if it's on roiv of the body, even if she wants it there, right? That's also. But those are gezerah derabanan. Then they're going to ask, so why don't we make a gezerah of part of the body up to the whole body? You say that's too much. You can't make the gezerah. Bottom line is, from the Gemara comes out that if a woman has something on part of her body and she wants it there, no problem. Exactly. So nail polish is fine. Nail polish is fine. Makeup. 1 second. Nail polish is fine. Makeup is fine. What? Knots in the hair. See, she doesn't want knots. That's the thing. If she wants tafka knot and a chanami. No, yeah, you're saying good. Or dread. I'll tell you another one called another woman's thing that I know about. No. Extensions. Anybody else here zoicha to know what that is? Okay. Hair extensions. Yeah. Right. So now they put them on there. Hair extension. Well, here's a beard extension. Piercing. All these maker adin are kosher. And a chanami, long nails, meikar adin is okay too. Meikar adin, it's all okay. Now the Ramah says that the minig became that we make sure that there's nothing on the body. Nothing, even if they want it, it has to come off. Sfardim don't have that. That's why you might hear a Sfardi lady in Sfardi mikvahs, they go to the mikvah with nail polish and all that. Comes out that for Sfardim it's okay. Oh, so now a cast you really don't want. You only want it now because of refuah. But really, you don't want it. So therefore, it's something you don't want on the body. So that's what? Because that's Gezeirah D'Rabbanan. It's D'Rabbanan. Okay, but you can't. What are you going to do? You can't nix the Gezeirah. We stopped blowing shofar on Rosh Hashanah also. We are machmir on cast. The more common thing is stitches. Yeah, what we would do is we'd get her to get the doctor to take off the cast, go to the mikvah, put it back on. You got to have some pull with the doctor. Yeah. Yes. So that's the thing. That's why if it's a shasat chak. So here's the interesting thing. So a woman has nail polish on, right? But it's not perfect, the nail polish. Then we're going to tell her, go get the nail polish perfect before you go to the mikvah. Right?
It's Fiakov.
If it's not perfect, then it's worse. So sometime, again, it's a shot. Let me get something straight. If you, what? So what are you saying? Right. So that's makbid. So that's that. Right. So then she's makbid.
What about Sviakov?
What's that? Somebody's asking you on the phone. One time. Yeah, go ahead.
A temporary filling.
Oh, very good. How about a temporary filling? Or braces? In the brisk, from what I heard, I don't know if this is true, the brisker women will not have any fillings in their teeth because it's a chatzitza. That's what I heard. No, but it has to be roy. It has to be roy. Now that's the thing. Teeth is complicated because teeth, if she comes out from the mikvah and she finds something stuck in her teeth. I just had this 2 days ago. They don't get fake teeth in. That's what I was told. Maybe after they're in their 50s. No dentures, no. Well, that they can take them out. Yeah, they can take them out. But with the teeth is an issue because who wants meat stuck in the teeth? Right? Nobody. So that's a makbid. Again, we're talking about where she's not makbid. Right? So anything that she...
I'll take some meat stuck in my teeth.
Yeah.
Are they Tzviakov?
Yes, go ahead.
Are they opening their mouths in the mikvah and swallowing?
No, they're not opening. No, they're not. No.
So what's the point? What's the difference?
Mouth, okay, to Simon, because the mouth has to be. It has to be called. He's eating meat from here, so it's all right. Okay.
I'm mishtatef. Don't worry.
It has the mouth or anything that's inside the body has to be roy lebiyas mayim. Meaning it doesn't have. They don't have to open their mouth, but it has to be roy for the water to go there. It doesn't actually have to go there, but it has to be roy. So therefore, the mouth has to also be clean. What are you saying, doctor? Very good, doctor. So there's a reason. You see, there's a reason why they weren't invited to this party. But the doctor is saying that fake nails, plastic nails. So enochanami, it's the same thing. If they want them, then it's really not a problem. If they don't want them there, then it's a problem. And the eyelashes, the fake eyelashes, same thing. The second question was, is it up to the individual woman to decide, or does it go with what normal woman? The answer is you go the chumrah both ways. If everybody else is makbid, then even though she's not makbid, we're machmer. And if nobody else is makbid, but she is, then we're also machmer. We're machmer. So that's true. So if a woman, and there have been stories where women went to the mikvah, and the mikvah said that they got to cut the nails, and the women just didn't go, and they came home and told the husbands they went to the mikvah. There are stories like that, because the bottom line is if a woman screams and jumps up and down and says that she's not cutting her nails, otherwise she's not going to the mikvah, then we will let her go with the nails and nail polish and the whole deal. I'll tell you something even more than that. We don't care. Man is meaningless, right? Even, yes.
There was cases where people would,
yeah.
So you're.
Yeah. What do you want to say? Who's asking a question there?
So you're saying she doesn't actually want it there if she doesn't fetch about it.
Basically, but you'd have to go with what most women are. Now, sometimes Why can't women go with makeup Friday night? What's the biggest issue of going to the mikvah Friday night? The makeup, right? So why can't they go with makeup? They want it there. So good. So you have the Ramaz minig that we don't go. But for a shasat chag, which she's going to push off the mikvah, there's all sorts of stress. So why not? Right? Because makeup runs. When you put makeup in water, it doesn't come out proper, right? It gets loose. And then it looks bad. And then she doesn't want it. Right? However, there's something called waterproof makeup. It's kedai to know to ask. Because no rabbi is going to offer this heter. Like we discussed this morning, we're not offering the heter. We're not offering this heter. But if you know about it, right, there are waterproof makeups out there.
So if a woman calls you, you ask her, you tell her to look up into waterproof makeup. She gives you a
sometimes we will be makel that a woman could go to the mikvah with waterproof makeup. So I thought this was like an Amerikanische cooler. And then I had a guy call me from Yerushalayim that she had, for some reason, his wife always has to go on Yom Tov with the whole family. And I said, in America, we might allow her to go with waterproof makeup, but she has to experiment with it. She has to put it on a day before, dunk her head in hot water, and see if it stays good. So I said, ask in Yerushalayim, maybe. And he asked in Yerushalayim, the mikvah might smack downtown the frumest neighborhood in Yerushalayim. They said, yeah, sure, we'll be makeup. I was shocked. But anyways, it's something. Now, I'll tell you a ma'isa having nothing to do with, it has to do with this. We have the waterproof makeup, the Shabbos makeup, right? Most Rabbanim are not very pro Shabbos makeup. So
what can you put on afterwards?
What? Right. So because most places can say Shabbos makeup's not allowed. So then a lady who was making a simcha had to go to the mikvah Friday night, and she wanted to do. The makeup lady told her, you have Shabbos makeup. So she called me and she says, "What's the deal?" I said, "I would rather you put on makeup before Shabbos, waterproof, and go than to put on makeup on Shabbos. Putting on makeup on Shabbos is a deraisa. We had it in Shabbos. It's a chashash deraisa. Mikvah, to put on makeup in mikvah is not even a derabanan, like we just learned." Then the makeup lady calls me and says, "Are you telling me that my makeup is so bad that you would rather her go to the mikvah with makeup on?" I said, "What should I tell you?"
The funny part was, I think Rocky got a text that Rabbi Stein said it's mutter to use the Shabbos.
It's just words always gets whispered.
Yes.
It's like Rukhaim.
Anyway, but that's the point is that if you have a woman, the point is if you have a woman who's very nervous about the mikvah and a lot of times they get OCD and they get crazy with they got to take it, relax. There's no way it's an Issa Daraisa, right? It's at the Rabbanon, you got to try and be mad, but it's not. It's what? No,
I'm sure you get phone calls afterwards. I found something in my teeth afterwards. What do you make me do?
You know how many? Let me just tell you something. You know how many times during the daf I'm answering mikvah shalos on my watch?
Well, it's because you make it a 9:15.
I'm just saying. In the winter,
right?
In the winter, will be fine. But in the summer, let's see if I have it. Yeah.
We should change the daf. Comparative when mikvah time is.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways.
Wait,
Okay.
So what do you tell them? You tell them to go back. No?
For what?
If they found a piece of something in their teeth.
Oh, piece of the teeth, you have to
go back.
It's a piece of the teeth. It's schwer. It's very schwer. It depends if it was loose in the teeth, not loose in the teeth. It's schwer. Okay. We're finished. Okay. So anyways, fine. So that's what we answered. That's what it's coming to include. Fine. Mechitza's deraisa ninu. So now the last one is that Mechitza's a deraisa. Why are you saying Mechitza's a halacha meshachtin? It's deraisa. The Amar Aron Tisha, the kapiros tefach. The Aron was 9 tefachim high, and the cover was a tefach. So that's 10 tefachim. Harei kana sara. That's how we know that every minimum height requirement is 10 tefachim, right? For a sukkah is 10 tefachim. For a mavui, like we said, the beam has got to be 10 tefachim. Not Chanukah's not a mica, right? A fence on a roof got to be 10 tefachim. We know that from there. So it's meferish a pasuk. So like tzricha, with Rabbi Yehuda, we know we're going according to Rabbi Yehuda. The Amar Amas binyan ba'ama bashisha. The amma of a building is always 6. Amas kalim ba'ama bas chamisha. But the amma of kalim is 5. But according to Rameir, who says all the amas were the average, meaning because according to him, how high is the aron? 7.5. Right? So how do you know 10? So that's coming to include good achis, good asik. That's when we'll see that later on in Eruvin Bez Hashem. Lavud, which encloses everything within 3 tvachim is 3 tvachim. We learned the other day that the wall gets bent. If it's pasal schach, the wall gets bent. So that's what, when we're saying halacha lemoshe misinai, all those three are halacha lemoshe misinai. But regular mechitzas are from the Torah. Yeah? Okay, we can stop here. Oh, what time tomorrow? I don't know. What time is it early Shabbos?
6:15.
What?
Short that.
What time is Mincha? Weesh.
Short that long. It's not a long time.
Okay, 5:40. 5:40. Yeah. What? So we're having. You're right. We're having. What? Good to see you. I need to go to the mikveh now. Soil, you could drink. I'm driving. I could drive. I'm just telling you. Okay, let's bench. Let's. We got to bench. My ride is leaving. My ride is leaving.
Zygazin, thank you.
Thanks. Zygazin.
This now concludes today's Daf.